Eminent clergy,
Mr. Nee,
Greater Accra Regional Minister and Member of Parliament for Pokuase Central, Chief of Staff at the Office of the President, Minister for Works and Housing and Member of Parliament for Bantama, Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and Member of Parliament for Damango, Minister for Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs, Minister of State at the Ministry of Finance and Member of Parliament for Karaga, Municipal Chief Executive for Ga West Municipal Assembly, Chief Director and officials of the Ministry for Works and Housing, President of the Ghana Real Estate Developers Association, GREDA, the Moroccan Ambassador to Ghana and other members of the Diplomatic Corps, Pokuase Pokuase and other traditional rulers, residents of Pokuase, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a happy day, for we're gathered here to launch the National Affordable Housing Program and witness the great groundbreaking ceremony, the construction of some 8,000 affordable housing units here in Pokuase, in the Greater Accra region. This project stands as a further testament to the Addo government's unwavering commitment to address the pressing housing needs of hard-working Ghanaians in our nation. The vision of the tradition from which my government and party, the New Patriotic Party, is born, is rooted in the philosophy so eloquently espoused by one of the legendary founders of this tradition, the doyen of Ghanaian politics, the immemorial Dr. Joseph Wachidabo, which, quote, "He seeks to liberate the energies of the people for the growth of a property-owning democracy in this land, with right to life, freedom, and justice as the principles to which the government and laws of the land should be dedicated in order specifically to enrich life, property, and liberty of each and every citizen," unquote. This housing project embodies our dedication to prioritizing housing as a fundamental need of our people. Together, we're breaking down barriers and creating pathways for our citizens, regardless of their circumstances, to access homes. Our commitment to ensuring housing security for all Ghanaians remains resolute, and we will continue to explore innovative approaches to meet the diverse needs of the Ghanaian people. Nime, ladies and gentlemen, Ghana's urban population currently stands at an estimated 58% of the population, with an urbanization rate of 3.3%. These figures highlight the pressing issue of housing, which has become a critical developmental challenge for our nation. Statistics show that only a meager 5% of our populations can acquire homes without assistance, while 60% require support facilitated by the state to access housing. The remaining 35% of our population will not be able to access homes, even with government subsidies. The support required by households falling into the 60% bracket comes in the form of supportive subsidies and policies and competitively priced mortgages. In recognition of this, the government has designed a sustainable framework aimed at enhancing housing delivery in the country. This framework focuses on improving the overall ecosystem of housing delivery by addressing both the supply and demand sides of the housing market. The objective is thus to increase the production of affordable housing units and establish a reliable and sustainable demand side of the housing market that will be accessible to all Ghanaians. This will ensure that homes are readily available to all segments of society, including our hard-working labor unions, both formal and informal, and our fellow citizens residing in the diaspora. It is significant to note that today's initiative marks a positive collaboration between government and the private sector, as it adopts a different approach from previous government housing projects, where government funded both the essential infrastructure and the housing units. With this approach, government will provide the land and other essential infrastructure, whilst private sector developers take the responsibility of constructing the housing units. The partnership demonstrates government's commitment to fostering strong public-private collaboration that yield tangible and inclusive results for our people. The initial project of this revised national housing program entails the construction of 8,000 units on a 203-acre land in Pokuase, on which we are all witnesses to its groundbreaking ceremony today, and another 6,000 housing units on a 200-acre land in the Ashanti region, which is currently undergoing thorough feasibility studies. I'm happy to announce that this is the first government housing project that has undergone a meticulous feasibility study as a prerequisite for funding from the Ministry of Finance. We have left no stone unturned in conducting detailed assessments, including environmental impact, social impact, property impact, traffic impact assessment, housing stress analysis, and financial analysis. It is instructive to note that in recent times, high cost of construction materials resulting from the effects of the emergence of COVID-19, which have been worsened even further by the Russian invasion of Ukraine, has taught us that we cannot continue to rely on imported building materials for our housing and construction industry. As a result, the revised National Affordable Housing Program requires developers to incorporate a significant proportion of domestically manufactured building materials, such as burnt clay bricks. These bricks will be utilized at two different levels. One, for constructing perimeter fence walls that covers 200 acres, and two, for some of the external walls of the apartments. This deliberate use of domestically produced burnt clay bricks not only ensures the durability of the structures, but also supports the growth and development of our domestic building materials industry. Through this project, we're paving the way for sustained growth and development of the burnt brick industry and of the local building materials industry in general, so that we can then begin to have cheaper houses to which all our people can have access. I'm also delighted to announce that this housing project also focuses on the demand side of the housing project and market. And in doing so, government through the Ministry of Finance has developed a model based on the successful National House Ownership Fund, which has proven instrumental in providing financial assistance to aspiring homeowners. We will leverage on this existing framework to facilitate the participation of labor unions in accessing mortgages and a well-structured payment plan for their members. Nime, ladies and gentlemen, as we celebrate this significant occasion, it is important also to address the challenges faced by the Saglemi housing project, which the Minister for Works and Housing alluded to. We are aware of the delays and setbacks encountered during the execution of this project. The issues about the scope of work and the money expended on the Saglemi project have been taken to the Criminal Investigation Division of the Ghana Police Service for investigation, which have resulted in criminal judicial proceedings. However, in the meantime, to forestall the project from deteriorating, the Ministry of Works and Housing has actively engaged government, cabinet, the Ministry of Finance, and the Office of the Attorney General on the completion of the project. It has been established that, in addition to the 198 million United States dollars already expended on the project, government has to raise additional financing to the tune of 46 million United States dollars to complete the off-site infrastructure works, that is water, electricity, and storm drains to mitigate flooding. Further, 68 million United States dollars are required to complete the buildings and other essential on-site infrastructure works, like the waste holding bay, the sewage treatment plant, and the development of socioeconomic and civic infrastructure, such as a basic school, clinic, and shops. Based on these assessments, and having taken into account the project location and viability, Cabinet directed the resourceful Minister for Works and Housing, the Honorable Francis Pokuase, Member of Parliament for Bantama, quote, to explore the possibility of disposing